In the heart of a bustling modern city, there lived a young man named Ravi. He was everything one might hope to be in this fast-paced world: intelligent, ambitious, and outwardly successful. He had a promising job at a prestigious firm, a sleek apartment with a view that stretched to the horizon and aspirations that seemed limitless. Yet for all his accomplishments, Ravi had one glaring flaw. He did not value time. His days were swallowed by endless scrolling through social media, hours spent binge-watching shows, and procrastination that stretched even the simplest tasks into impossibilities. His father, a wise and experienced man, often warned him, "Time is precious, Ravi. If you waste it, you will regret it." But Ravi, in his youthful arrogance, would brush the advice aside with a smile. "There's plenty of time, Dad. I can always catch up later," he would say, confident that his future was secure. One fateful day, Ravi's manager handed him a golden opportunity, a major project that could not only showcase his talents, but also open the door to a much-desired promotion. This was the break he had been waiting for. But instead of diving into the project with determination, Ravi fell back into his old habits. "I'll start tomorrow," he told himself as he scrolled through his phone late into the night. Tomorrow turned into the next day, and the next, until the deadline loomed ominously over him. When the day of reckoning arrived, Ravi had completed barely half the work. His manager's face was a storm of anger and disappointment. The company lost a critical client due to Ravi's failure, and as a consequence, Ravi lost his job. The gravity of the situation didn't hit him immediately. "It's just a job," he told himself. "I'll find another one soon." But life had other plans. Without a steady income, Ravi quickly fell behind on his rent. His landlord, who had once been lenient, evicted him from his apartment. His friends, who had once filled his life with laughter and camaraderie, grew distant, and his family, though loving, couldn't hide their disappointment. His father's words, once gentle, now carried the weight of harsh truth. "Look at where wasting time has brought you, Ravi." Ravi felt as though the walls of his life were crumbling around him. Stripped of his job, his home, and his dignity, he had nowhere to turn. With a heavy heart, he packed what little he had left and returned to his village. "Perhaps the quiet of the countryside will help me find some clarity," he thought. The village, with its slow rhythm and natural beauty, was a stark contrast to the chaos of the city. Ravi spent his days wandering aimlessly through the fields and along dusty paths, avoiding the villagers out of shame. One evening, as the sky blushed with the colors of sunset, Ravi found himself at the edge of the village, beneath a sprawling banyan tree. He sank to the ground, his head in his hands, overwhelmed by a sense of hopelessness. "Why do you look so sad, young man?" A calm, soothing voice interrupted his thoughts. Startled, Ravi looked up to see a monk standing before him. The monk's face radiated peace, his eyes filled with a wisdom that seemed to pierce through Ravi's despair. Dressed in simple robes and leaning on a wooden staff, the monk seemed to embody serenity itself. "I've ruined my life," Ravi confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. "I lost my job, my home, and the respect of those I love. There's nothing left for me now." The monk sat down beside Ravi, his presence both grounding and uplifting. "Tell me your story," he said gently. And so, Ravi poured out his heart, recounting his mistakes and regrets, his missed opportunities, and his squandered time. The monk listened patiently, his expression never wavering. When Ravi finished, the monk said, "Your story reminds me of another man who faced a similar plight. Let me share it with you. There was once a farmer named Gopal," the monk began. "He was hard-working but careless with time. Every morning he would wake up late and put off his chores, always saying, 'I'll do it tomorrow.' One year, during the crucial planting season, Gopal delayed sowing his seeds. By the time he finally began, the rains had arrived and it was too late. His seeds failed to take root properly. When harvest season came, his fields were barren. With no crops to sell, Gopal's family went hungry, and he had no money to support them. One night, as Gopal sat under the stars, he had a moment of clarity. This is not bad luck, he realized. This is my doing. I failed because I wasted time. From that moment on, Gopal vowed to change. He began waking up early, working diligently, and never putting off tasks. The following year, his fields thrived, bursting with crops. Gopal became the most prosperous farmer in the village, all because he learned to respect time. The monk turned to Ravi, his gaze piercing yet compassionate. Do you see, my child? Gopal's failure was not the end of his story. He learned from his mistakes and transformed his life. You can do the same. But how? Ravi asked, his voice tinged with both hope and doubt. I've already lost so much. The monk reached into his robe and pulled out a small hourglass. You haven't lost everything, he said, placing the hourglass in Ravi's hands. You still have time. Time is like the sand in this glass. Once it's gone, you can't get it back. But if you use it wisely, it can transform your life. Keep this hourglass with you. Whenever you feel tempted to waste time, watch the sand fall and remember its lesson. Ravi held the hourglass tightly, as though it were a lifeline. He thanked the monk and returned to his village with a renewed sense of purpose. Each morning, he woke up early, made a plan for his day, and tackled his tasks with unwavering focus. Whenever distractions beckoned, he would watch the sand in the hourglass, reminding himself of its silent yet profound message. Time is precious. Bit by bit, Ravi rebuilt his life. He took on small freelance jobs, impressing his clients with his dedication and attention to detail. Soon, he secured a full-time position. The journey was not without its challenges, but Ravi persevered. He also reconciled with his family, apologizing for the pain his actions had caused. His father, moved to tears, said, I'm proud of you, Ravi. You've truly learned the value of time. The hourglass remained on Ravi's desk as a constant reminder of the monk's wisdom. Whenever he felt lazy or distracted, he would watch the sand fall and renew his commitment to his goals. Ravi's life, once marked by regret, became a testament to the power of change and the value of time. If this story has touched your heart, share it with someone who needs encouragement. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more inspiring stories and life-changing lessons.